What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my thoughts on episode 2 of Midnight Mass. Now, so far, Mike Flanagan is absolutely delivering, and this is the episode that is starting to answer a lot of questions that I had with the first episode and where things were going, but not all the way. Because Mike Flanagan, as we all know, is a very, very slow burn director, and I'm really excited at the end of this episode to try and guess what he's gonna try to do with the whole story by the end of it, because there's still a lot of questions, up in the air, but I'm definitely getting more of a feel for what kind of show this is. Now, I must say I was waiting for the horror, because in the first episode, the only horror you get really in it is the visions that the lead character Riley is having of the girl that he killed during that accident, when he's lying down in jail, or 4 years later after jail, when he's back on the island of Crockett, and he has this grisly image of this ghostly girl. Other than that, the entire show is pretty much a drama, and it still is for the most part, like 95+% a drama. Like there there doesn't seem to be a lot of horror so far, other than a little bit sprinkled here and there. But like I said, I'm assuming that the show is gonna get super horror centric as as it crosses the halfway point kind of thing. But so far you've got the beginning of the episode. You're introduced to a lot more of Father Paul's personality kind of thing, and that character is very much built up. And you have Riley attending AA meetings because it's part of his parole, and other than the fact that he needs to get sober because he killed somebody for being behind the wheel drunk, he also needs to get a bunch of stamps of him, attending AA meetings for his parole so he doesn't go back to jail and whatnot. You're introduced to this character named Lisa, who was introduced in the first episode already, but you get to know more about her. And apparently there was this town drunk who is named Joe, and apparently during a conversation between Riley and the priest, Father Paul, it said that there was a hunting accident where Joe, ended up paralyzing Lisa, and that's why she's in like an electric wheelchair kind of thing. You get a lot more with Aaron and Riley and their childhood, and it's obviously very clear at this point that they were childhood sweethearts. And Riley also was an altar boy as a teenager. It said that he was an altar boy at 15 years old, so he obviously has that Roman Catholic background to him before this whole shitstorm happened. The cats are explained as well, and they're trying to investigate basically where they came from. The local sheriff's theory is that the cats already were either poisoned or came across some kind of infectious disease even before they ended up in the water. So he's guessing that it wasn't like a storm situation. He's guessing that the cats were already harmed before they ended up in the water in the first place. But that's just a theory. They're really going. They're really trying to investigate basically what's happened. There's this woman named Bev who. Bev. I really, really can't wait to have her character described a lot more, because this woman seems absolutely nuts. She has this whole storage of rat poison, which she claims she's using for rats, but it's starting to get a little fishy, because of the things she says, and when the sheriff is like asking her questions and stuff like that. They're wondering if she used this, on the local animals, and was just either irresponsible with it or just a crazy bitch who wants to cause havoc and do whatever in this. But her whole character is batshit crazy, so I'm really, really looking forward to some character development on this woman, Bev, and I'm excited on that. There is a scene involving Joe's dog where there's a dog death, which is one of the most sad and violent dog deaths that I've seen in a while. There's a lot of, vomiting blood and like foaming from the mouth from an animal. You know, careful if you're squeamish. I looked at that scene and I'm like, whoa, that's that's rough. Like, there's not a lot of shows or films that like actually display an animal death that detailed. But yeah, it is what it is. It's a pretty brutal scene, but that also raises a lot of stakes and questions with especially the Bev character, because everybody is coming to the conclusion that the dog obviously came across something poisonous, so one thing leading to another basically goes for that. There is a scene involving an AA meeting just with Paul and Riley that is the definition of amazing writing. The writing in this scene, where Riley is basically explaining why and how he lost his faith, and Father Paul is being that ear to listen to, or to listen, like that person that just listens and doesn't judge. I really like Father Paul in his role so far. His character is absolutely amazing. It's really hard to use religious plots because a lot of times they're either used for gags or they're just so cringy because they're not treated properly. I don't know Mike Flanagan's religious background or if he just studied Roman Catholicism, but the music and the church scenes are nailed perfectly, and and like I said, they're often cringy, but not in this show. This show really, really, really nails the 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 atmosphere of Roman Catholicism without making it cheesy or cringy, which I actually really appreciate. It's a huge breath of fresh air because a lot of television and a lot of films just can't do it. They just can't do it. But this show really, really does a great job on that. And so far, I'm loving Father Paul's character. Now, I'm prepared for a U-turn, and I'm prepared for, Father Paul ending up being like a crazy villain or something like that. I'm prepared for some crazy plot twist like that. But so far, this guy just seems so humble and so understanding and so loving and so caring and so giving. And his character is brilliant. His character is beautiful. Like he's and Riley and his relationship and his trust and understanding with this priest is so good. It's so well written. This show so far is absolutely so well written. Towards the end, there is a scene where Father Paul is giving a sermon, and the sermon gets a little bit heated, which is typical for like, you know, certain sermons and priests. They like just he starts to get like very aggressive, and you're like, okay, where's this going? Is he gonna lose it? Kind of thing. He doesn't, but you could see that passion in him where you kind of don't know what he's thinking sometimes, but. And then you have the final scene of this show where he performs his miracle with Lisa on the wheelchair, and he wants to give her the body of Christ, and he is basically asking her to come to him, like walk to him, and everybody's like, dude, she's paralyzed, what are you doing? And then she ends up walking, so that's like his first miracle of the show. I also like how this show at the end of the episode or towards the end of the episode goes a little creature feature. When that dude is going into that house and then you see that creature with the glowing eyes, terrifying stuff. Another little sprinkle of horror thrown in, and again raises those questions on where this show is going to go. But yeah, that creature coming out of the shadow and just snatching that dude, so well done, so well done. I really, really like where the show is going, and I really like where this episode kind of raised the stakes on certain things. Clearly, it could be a creature feature. It could be some crazy bitch named Bev poisoning animals, but you do have a lot of questions, and the lead character is so interesting, and you really want to know so much about this guy because he's not like a monster. He just made a really horrible fucking decision, and his relationship with Father Paul, and I really want to know where Father Paul is going to go, whether he's going to be the hero of the story or whether it's just going to take a U-turn, like I said, and he's going to be just, some crazy ass evil person. That I'm looking forward to. But yeah, that's episode 2, and it's really taking things into good directions. Just seeing if there's anything that I missed. I forgot to mention on the episode 1 too. During that storm, there's a scene where Riley thinks he sees the previous priest, Father Monsignor Pruitt, on the beach during the storm, and Father Pruitt, like he always dresses the same. He has like a fedora and a long coat, and he's just running across the beach. So I'm wondering where they're gonna take that as the show goes on. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Other than that, I think I pretty much covered everything. Other than that, which I forgot to mention last review, and also the visions that he has of the girl. The visions are very terrifying. This young girl with like half her face is covered in glass and her eyes like completely obliterated. And I like the choice of shot that Mike Flanagan uses too. Every time he's about to have the vision, it's the same shot. It's him lying in a bed like horizontally, and then the camera shifts vertically until you're seeing him lying in a bed, but like vertically, and then he'll have the vision. I see that repeated a lot, and I like that choice of shot with the theme that Mike Flanagan is going for. But other than that, yeah, that's episode 2. I don't want to keep going this too long. We're already almost 15 minutes. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be reviewing this whole series, complete spoilers for all the episodes. So definitely watch the show first, if anything. But yeah, I'll be back with another review soon, and that's all I got for now. So until next time, until next episode, and until next film review, I will see you soon. Take care and cheers.